Today, we're going to be doing a Call of Duty tier list, as you see right here. So, a bit about me as a player before we start. I started playing in Black Ops 4. I've played every Call of Duty since then. I even went back and bought the previous titles, whether it be to play the multiplayer through a client, which I didn't really want to pirate the games. I didn't really want to mess around with that. Or the other main reason would be the zombies mode, just so I have access to it or like check it out. So yeah, just get started. I've never played Call of Duty 2, 3, or 1. So for the list, we're just gonna rank from I'm doing from E to S with the main games, and then I'll talk about Warzone at the end. So if you see me look at my second monitor, I've just got some notes here for stuff I want to talk about. So with the E tier games, there's 2 of them, and these games, they don't do like a lot correct, but I feel like they have some aspects which are like respectable. I don't feel like any Call of Duty like truly like fails on every aspect. So yeah, all right, for the games, gonna be Call of Duty Vanguard and COD Mobile. Alright, with Vanguard, I'm just gonna start by saying that people tend to say how like COD games, oh, you know, they aren't worth $70. I tend to disagree. My general like philosophy towards it is that I tend to play it throughout the whole year, and for the amount of time I put into it, I consider that $70 price tag to be worth it. And a lot of the times, I don't feel like the content is like too horrendous. With Vanguard though, that is not true at all. This game was nowhere near worth $70, and by the time it was at the end, when they added like more guns and a few more maps, everybody already moved over to MW2. So just a bit about this game at launch. This game launched with one of the worst campaigns in COD from what I've heard. And for the zombies, it launched without a pause button. And it also didn't launch without a ray gun in Duran Fong or a pack lunch camo. So with the zombies, it released 4 maps. The first 2 were like very similar for what I can remember. I did not want to play those 2 maps for this video. I'll probably never like touch Vanguard again. Keep it a buck. Alright, now besides from the first 2, the third map, Shidono Reborn, was actually pretty good from what I can remember. And with the 4th map, I think I may have played that map like once. It was like legit a reskin version of the 2nd map, which should have been a sign for me to jump ship on COD, but like I like just stuck through because COD's sort of like my go-to FPS. Now, from the way I've talked about this COD, you would think it would be like bottom of the barrel F tier. Well, I actually did find the multiplayer to be okay. Nothing really about it like stood out though. The maps weren't like I don't remember any of the maps being like excessively bad. Besides that, like one submarine one which had a few weird areas in it. But they did bring back maps like Dome from World at War. I think Castle was the other map. The guns, I feel like they had a good selection of guns. And unlike a lot of people who talked about this, unlike from what people say about Vanguard in these like tier lists, I actually like how they sort of like try to experiment and have fun with the bundles and weapons, with adding the EX1 from Advanced Warfare and the BP50, which I think was called the F2000 in MW2. And they also added like Raul Menendez and Sarah from like Black Ops. I think she had like Black Ops 4 or 3. I'm not sure what design she had. But yeah, also you'll probably see me rocking a Wellgun blueprint in the footage, which I thought looked pretty good. So actually with Vanguard, it had a okay multiplayer that was like held back by like a terrible zombies and campaign. So alright, now with Call of Duty Mobile, I always put this game in never played but like I have played it. So with this game, the multiplayer, like in the end of the day, this game is a mobile title, which I don't really like. I like the idea of having like every gun in COD in one title, which I feel like they should do for PC. You can tell it's a mobile game from the microtransactions. Like for the price of one like weapon blueprint, I can like buy an Xbox and MW3 from what I've heard. So yeah. Alright. Moving on to the D tier games. These games are sort of capsulized by like being overall okay, but having a few aspects to them that just sort of hold them back. These games are AW, Ghosts, and MW2. Oh yeah, just sort of a bit about how I'm going to rank these. But the reason why I want to do a tier list, not like just a ranking, is because I feel like in these tiers, you can like generally put the games in any order, because these three like do some aspects like better than others. Alright, now just starting with that, AW. I mean, the campaign, from what I've heard, was like fine. But I mean, with the multiplayer, the movement just like straight up felt very like nauseating. Like, maybe that's a bit of a strong word, but I didn't like the movement like at all. I feel like IW and Black Ops 3 did significantly better with the advanced movement. The guns were like horribly balanced. Also with the variants, they had the loot boxes, and when your game's being called shit like Battle of Duty, there was like the Battle Obsidian Steed and the ASM1 Speakeasy. It's just like, bro, like really, like. And also, apparently there was pretty bad skill-based matchmaking in this game, but I wasn't there to experience it. So yeah, and oh yeah, I almost forgot the zombies. I feel like this game did have a lot of like interesting ideas in its zombies. This is something I found with a lot of the like non-Treyarch modes. So the first wave Outbreak, I feel like was a bit of a bad introduction to the mode, because it was just a bit like boring. I felt like it was. I mean, it was a fine map, but it wasn't really as interesting as like something like Carrier or Descent. Now, holy shit, Infection. I don't feel like I've played a zombies map where every round after round 6, like it gives you a new reason to like dislike the map. You have shit like Survivor rounds, Exosuit rebooting, toxic zones, and the decontamination mechanic. So yeah, it's just like I'll probably just like do the Easter egg on Infection, then like never touch this shit again. So yeah, the main part I didn't like about it, I just don't have this home, is like the supply drops. Now you had to pay for like the good guns. All right, now with Ghosts. With Ghosts, I feel I had from with the campaign. It wasn't really like nothing to cry home about, but it wasn't like the best. It did end on a cliffhanger, which I mean, I feel like there should be a Ghost 2 just sort of like resolve it, but there's probably like never going to be a Ghost 2 just because of how this game was received. With the multiplayer, the maps were just like straight up too big. And I didn't really like the maps too much in this game. Like, I mean, I look around for like 15 minutes on Stonehaven, bro. Like, in the background footage, you'll see me like playing with some bots. And like, you can see the bots are like kind of catching up to me. And that's because I can't find anybody. And I was playing on IW6X. So I had like shitty connection as well. And it was just like, come on, bro. I feel like the strike package system, I mean, with the strike packages, it was like kind of, it wasn't like too bad, but I would just prefer to like select 3 score streaks to use. And I didn't like the whole perk grid. you had like or a bunch of rows with perks that ranged from like 1 to 5 points, and you had to like choose, like you had to like pick ones with the points. I just found it to be like way too confusing, in my opinion, as someone that's like only sort of played the game for a bit. I'm sure if I was there for the life cycle, I would have gotten a hang of it. But yeah, just give us a normal perk system. Also, the guns, none of them were like super memorable besides like, I think the USR or like MSR is just the sniper and the honey badger, and like they got the Ripper, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, now with Extinction, I feel like Extinction was a very good like departure from the typical zombies formula. I sort of liked how it was something completely different from Treyarch Zombies. I don't really think people like were that interested in the mode. From what I hear, like people didn't really like it that much. But this zombies mode had the same problem with AW. I feel like Point of Contact, which is first map, was sort of a bad introduction. I feel like if they gave us something like Mayday, which I haven't played personally, but the boss at the end on the ship looks like really cool. And you had the, I think it was Exodus. There was one map where it was like set on like the alien world. Also, from what I read, the teeth grind was like, I feel like it was like a bit too crazy, but it was good how there was a system in the game that rewarded like the dedicated players. Like double class or something you had to like grind out, not like purchase from the shop, which I respect that. I respect that. So yeah, with Ghost overall, it just like wasn't quite it. There was stuff like maps being too big, the class system being a bit confusing. Oh yeah, with the class, you have like 10 different soldier slots, which yeah, I feel like was just like a worse version of operators. So I mean, and then with Extinction, like just like wasn't really quite it for me personally. I know a lot of other people, but could have been something really cool. Next is, oh yeah, sorry if I've been like yapping a bit in this video. Alright, with MW2, I heard the campaign was good. I haven't checked it out myself. I may just like check it out sometime later if I have time. Now with the multiplayer, I honestly feel like with this multiplayer, they got pretty much everything in like a C or B tier besides movement and perks. The perks with the system where you like unlock it over time, I feel like wasn't a super hindrance when I was playing, but it was just sort of a system where like it would have been much easier and much better received if like they had the original perk system in it. But the main issue for me was the movement. It basically took everything that was good about the 2019 movement, it's like put it in the shitter. The slide was like very uncomfortable. I didn't like sliding at all. With every attachment, you just got horrendous ADS speed bonuses. But I mean, besides that, like the maps were fine, much better than the old shit that this game offered. I like the remakes of the maps. I also liked how the guns were 20 levels, not 70. I prefer the system where I have to level up a gun to a certain point before you can unlock the next gun, over having to like get 70 levels per gun. Once you level up a few of the like big guns in this game, you had like your good attachments sorted. The only one I really had to go out of my way for was one of the reflex sides. I had to like level up a shotgun I didn't really care about. But I mean, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it was mainly the movement that brought this multiplayer down, in my opinion. Also, with the DMZ, I didn't touch that mode. I only touched it for leveling up guns when it was good in like the beginning, I think. But like with DMZ, it just got pushed out way too early. I feel like if it would have came out with Modern Warfare 3, instead of the zombies, I feel like it would have worked better. But I feel like, I mean, MW2's a bit more of Milsim. Let me know in the comments if you feel like DMZ should have came out with MW2 or MW3. As a Destiny, like, a pretty hardcore Destiny player, I feel like they smashed the raids. I feel like they were pretty challenging, and the mechanics were really tough. Like, I remember this one raid where you had to, there was this like 15-digit sequence, and then like the water was electrocuted. It was just like, oh my god, bro. I never want to do that shit ever again. And I also like how they had a lot of events like with each season where you could get a lot of like cool looking camos. And also like this in MW3. So I mean, yeah, so overall I feel like MW2 was good, but the movement just sort of held it back like so much. Alright. Now I'm moving on to C tier. So with these games, they're just sort of like okay, in my opinion. They have a lot of good aspects and a lot of bad aspects that sort of like cancel each other out. Alright, these games are World War II, IW, and Modern Warfare 2019. Alright, starting off with I'm gonna start with World War II. So the campaign, I mean, I haven't played the campaign, but from what I've been hearing, it looks okay. I remember there was like a sad death in it. I think one of the characters died at one point. Now with the multiplayer, I got this on PC because this game had like a bit of a cult following on PC. Like after they did the change, I really liked it. I felt like the sniping was pretty good. It had like a good choice of guns. The maps weren't too bad. I feel like this game had a pretty good Shipment remake, like Shipment 1942. But the reason why I'm not putting this higher is like the game looked like ass before the change. I mean, like that's what I've been hearing. Oh yeah, just with the multiplayer, like just one more bit. The variants, which I mean, supply drops like kind of suck in my opinion. I feel like there should be a way to earn what you get in supply drops like through the game. I mean, that's not gonna make them any form of money, is it? I mean, the good thing is variants didn't give you like stat bonuses to the guns. They just like look different. They just like look different. And I don't remember any of the DLC weapons that you got through supply drops like being too overpowered. So, and finally with the zombies, with this game, it had a lot of good ideas. Quite a few of the maps I just didn't like. I only haven't played the Shadowed Throne yet, which I heard is like a pretty good map. But I did play Final Reich, which I did quite like that, honestly. I like the Notebook, which made a lot of like the steps like getting on power, getting Pack-a-Punch, like quite simple. I don't think you got Pack-a-Punch through the Notebook, but yeah, you didn't. But it made the Easter egg like quite easy to follow and actually like quite fun. The Darkest Shore, I just like straight up didn't like. I hated the fog on that map and how it's like so intense. You can only see like 3 feet in front of you. And I mean the Ripsaw is a pretty cool wonder weapon. And the Tortured Path. Yeah, it's just like not for me really. It's like 3 maps. You like do a bunch of objectives, so yeah, nah. And then the Frozen Dawn, the final one, I feel like it looked cool, but it just had a few things that were a bit weird. With to open the first door, it's a soul box, which is just like so strange to me. It wasn't like a good or bad thing, but it was just really strange. And also, I didn't I found the like consumables to be like the worst form of like microtransactions we got in zombies. It didn't like add any like pizzazz to it. I mean that's with like a zesty word, but I think it didn't add any like flavor to the mode that Fate and Fortune cards and Gobblegums did. The Final Reich was probably like the best map from the ones I played. Now I'm gonna do Infinite Warfare. The campaign was really good, from what I've heard. The MP, I have to think about it. I just felt like a fan tried to recreate Black Ops 3. It's like a very like amateur attempt at Black Ops 3. But I mean, it did the advanced movement did like feel good. And I also like how the specialists were in this game. Although I didn't feel like they quite hit Black Ops series good with the specialists. Now with the zombies, this was easily the best like non-Treyarch mode. I don't consider Spaceline top 10, but it is very but it is up there. It'll probably be like top 20 when I like go and like break down my list. Rave. I also liked Rave. But with the final 3 maps, which is Shower and Shuffle, Attack of the Radioactive Thing, and Beast from Beyond. Yeah, Beast from Beyond. I feel like they all had like very interesting themes and concepts to it. And then a lot of like interesting Easter egg steps, like the fucking like chemistry step, which I don't know how you do. So yeah, the final 3 maps were like very hard for the Easter eggs. Mainly Shower and Shuffle and Attack of the Radioactive Thing. I mean, yeah. Okay. Also, I like the colors. It was very vibrant with IW. It's like very different from World War II. I also like the director's cut. It honestly makes all of the maps way more fun. Because they're so big, where you can just like buy like everything in the map. I don't know, that's just something that I enjoy. I also liked how you can like choose to go straight to the bosses. I think that's like an amazing feature. I'm sort of surprised how they haven't like brought that back. But I mean, yeah, probably the worst part about this game, going back to the multiplayer, would be the supply drops. The weapons gave you like stat boosts, and I feel like you could only call it. I'm pretty sure you could only call a nuke on some weapon variants, which I mean that's just kind of yeah, it's not like too good. All right, now with MW 2019, what a game! This game, every COD YouTuber seemed to like glaze this mode like 24/7. I don't like, honestly, I don't really get a lot of the hype behind this game. The movement was really good, S&D was really good, and then everything else ranged from like every other aspect ranged from good to just like terrible. So the maps besides like Shoot House and Shipment range from just like okay to subpar, subpar that range, to horrendous like I need an exfil from this lobby immediately. Like Azir Cave, I remember, is one of them. I can't fucking remember any of the other maps in this game, which I think is a good thing that they're out of my memory. Also, the time to kill I feel like was a bit too quick in this mode. I mean, in this game, but I never really felt like pissed about it being like too quick. If you get what I mean. I also like the selection of guns you got. You like the SMGs. I love the MP5, the MP7, ARs. You got the M4, which I liked. And yeah, I feel like the gun selection ended up pretty good this game. Also with Spec Ops, I feel like 4 people play this mode in total. Like, I mean, no, yeah, like nobody played this mode, and it looks kind of ass from what I saw. So, I mean, yeah, Venus Slayer. Hey, these are the games I think are okay with Modern Warfare. Yeah, the movement and S&E were really well done. Then the other aspects was like down here kind of. Alright, so next are the games I consider to be B tier. These are the good games where I feel like there's like more positives than negatives. These games are Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War, and Modern Warfare 3 2023. Alright, now Modern Warfare 3 2023, the $70 DLC, as people like to say. The campaign was pretty shit. But I feel like there were a few there were like hints of something better in there. I feel like I just want to sort of say this here. I feel like this campaign was shit as a direct result of them having to rush out this game. I feel like if this game had gone through the proper like development cycle, all the ideas with the open world missions could have been expanded upon a lot more. I feel like they could have like touched the story up a bit. Moving on to the multiplayer, I feel like this had the best multiplayer offering out of the reboot trilogy. I feel like with the movement, it offered a good balance between the ultra fast fucking like YY 360 unlock tools of MW 2019 and the turtle pace MW2. I also like the maps. You had a selection of all the OG maps, which I feel like generally worked well in Modern Warfare 3. And also, I haven't really had a lot of problems with the new maps they've been adding in. I think Rio and Greece. Greece may have a few weird areas, but I overall like don't mind them. Also, I did end up getting Interstellar camo for this. Yeah, the camo was called Interstellar. I feel like it's a really good looking camo, and I like how the challenges for the camos weren't like 20 long shots, like pistols, SMGs. How they're like different, but like kind of weird and out there. Like I'll get 3 headshots in a row with 4 times optic on like SMGs, like whatever. Okay. So yeah, multiplayer pretty good, pretty fun. Now with the zombies, I feel like this zombies mode, it's very divisive, but I feel like it's only good for casuals, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The main reason why I say it is because once you do all the story missions, get all the schematics, and get all the camos, there's literally like nothing else to do in the mode. Oh, I mean, yeah, there just needs to be more replayability in the zombies mode, then it can be like a pretty good mode. Okay, now final in the B tier, we have Black Ops 4. Obviously, Black Ops 4 infamously didn't have a campaign, and instead launched its BR Blackout. I feel like Blackout was overall. I did enjoy Blackout for when I played it. I wasn't as hardcore as a lot of like other like people and YouTubers were. It would have been way bigger if it was free to play. I did like how it was more of a traditional BR experience where it's like pick up guns and pick up like attachments for the guns. But I wasn't a fan of how maxed out guns were like a random drop, and they came with attachments you couldn't find in the wild. It's like, I mean, like, yeah, nah. The thing I liked about Warzone is it just sort of like took out a lot of RNG from BRs and made it more like sort of skill focused. I've been sort of thinking, like, yeah, I'm sort of thinking about a world where Treyarch would have had Blackout, IW would have had Warzone, and then Sledgehammer would have had third mode. Let me know if you would have liked that over every COD just adding onto Warzone. I honestly think that would have been like something cool where each year there would be like a different BR. With the multiplayer, I think the TTK was pretty solid. With the manual healing, I feel like they should have just gave you like stim shot like as base, and I feel like you had to like equip it. By them giving you stim shot, you had a lot more freedom to choose like a different bit of equipment. I think it was like a radar one that was good, but I don't remember all of the rest. I did like the specialists. I feel like there was like there was good selection at launch. I feel like they added the ones they added were pretty OP, but they were all like fun in their own way. I remember when I played, I did like I think my favorite one's probably Sparrow with the like the bow, and like you got like a drone, and then you can like fly it and, like park it up top. I remember I did this when I played like you can tell I parked it in the middle. You got like fucking red boxes. I think the game literally gave you like wall hacks, which I thought was pretty funny. But I feel like in the end I never felt like I had to pick a certain specialist in this game. I thought the movement was good. It was like too slow, wasn't too fast. I like the selection of guns he had. I think they did a good job with the snipers, with the SMGs, and the ARs. I'm not gonna act like there wasn't a few broken things in this game. Like I remember the SG-12 with the flashlight. I remember seeing a few like videos of people like raging to getting killed by that, which is kind of funny. And also with the I can't remember the name of the AR. Not the ace. It was the one that had double grip on it, and it just gave the gun zero recoil at all, which is pretty funny. So, and I think I like using the Sorg in this game. That was probably my favorite gun. Now, moving on with the zombies. The worst aspect I feel like in this game was the perk system. You could only choose like 4 perks, and only a few of them were good. I feel like a lot of them were like pretty weird, but they felt like custom map perks. So this was from the start of the video, this was the first Treyarch Zombies I played, and in my opinion, the worst out of them. All the maps were too complex, and the Easter eggs were fairly complex from what I've seen. But I might try and tackle them later. I feel like this, although I've been like talking kind of shit out the zombies, I did like 9 was probably my favorite map. I actually like liked Blood of the Dead like more than a lot of YouTubers did. Maybe because I didn't really touch the Easter egg. I just sort of got the Hell's Retriever, and like pack a bunch open, and then like, you know, that was fine. I don't think I even messed around with the Wondergat upgrades. And then it had like Voyage, which is like one of my least favorite maps. I'm like never gonna learn that shit. Yeah, like the fucking like eyeball boss. I think it's like an eyeball. Like, yeah. All right. Now, Black Ops Cold War. I played the campaign. It was really good. I had the multiple endings. I love the mission where you infiltrated the Russian base. I also found it cool the ending where Adler kills you. It was such a good multiplayer. I wasn't like the biggest fan of the maps, but they weren't like super bad either. I did like the iteration of Nuketown that was in that game. I was sniping. The the gun the guns were pretty good. The yeah, like good, quite a few good ARs, SMGs, and like they do a really good job with the snipers. Uh, With the maps, they did have a selection of good like new and remastered maps. With the zombies, I did like the zombies. I didn't mind that it was too easy. I liked a lot of the crafting system where you can buy different grenades. I mean, with the salvage, I don't mind that it's in there, but I wouldn't mind if it got removed. The maps are overall like pretty consistently solid. So like now was the best and Fire Basically was the worst. I did hate the mimic step on that map though. They obviously did Outbreak, which was like an open world take on zombies. I straight up, the only thing that saved Outbreak for me was the first Easter egg and the boss. They did a good job on the Easter eggs overall. I did do them all solo. This is the only game where I have done well because this is the easiest zombies game. I also liked how in the second Outbreak Easter egg, you like went out of the zone, which I really liked. And yeah, so good zombies, good MP, good campaign. If Future Colds were as good as this one, I'm happy. Just like straight up. Uh, Next we got A tier. The games in this tier are PUBG 4, World at War, MW3, and Black Ops 3. So I'm just gonna talk about which one I think is like definitively the worst in these groups, which is MW3. Sorry about that. The campaign, I haven't played the campaign, but it looks very like Michael Bay, which is something I like because I love the Michael Bay Transformers films. With the MP, there was a lot of like great maps and guns. You had like the ACR, MSR. There was a few cool SMGs in the mix. You had maps like Hard Hat, Dome, that one in London, I think. This is probably my least played out of the like Modern Warfare 3 trilogy, the original one. And that brings me on to like my next point, which is with this game, if you were to ask me, would you either play this game, COD 4 and MW2? I'm picking COD 4 and MW2 every time. And also, I feel like the MP was more balanced, less broken shit than COD 4 and MW2. I also did check out Survival, which was pretty fun, but not as good as like zombies. Okay. Next, Black Ops 3. So, let's just get this out of the way. The campaign is dog shit from what I've heard. I mean, like Train Go Boom. That's probably the only good bit about it. Alright, MP. This is probably like my favorite MP out of all of them. I am a fan of Advanced Movement. Titanfall 2 is probably in my top 5 games of all time. Like, that might be glazing a bit too much, but it would be. Yeah, it's definitely up there. I do like love Titanfall. Although it was like, I feel like my favorite MP overall, it was kept back by supply drops. Yeah, that just sort of like keeps it back for me. Like, I don't like how you get new guns from chance, and in this game, guns like the MSMC were like top tier, which it sucks when you like have to pay to get some of the best guns in the game like quicker. I also thought this game had like pretty good maps overall. You had so I don't like remember COD maps. You had Nuketown obviously. You had like a standoff remake from Black Ops 2. You had the one in the forest with like the mansion in the middle. I think Combine was a good one. And yeah, a lot of good maps, and overall the best advanced movement system. And you had a lot of cool guns to start off with. And Dark Matter is like easily probably the best mastery camo in my opinion. Alright, zombies. I'll just say, best zombies ever. The original lineup was goated. You got Shadows, which is like my favorite map of all time. Then you got the Giant, Horizon Drat, great map. You got Zet, which is like it's definitely up there. I do like Zet. And then you got Revelations, which is just like a lot of fun. Where you have like the fucking like the Apothicon Servant and the Thunder Gun both in your inventory. And then if that wasn't good enough, they gave you Zombies Chronicles, which brought back even more of my favorite maps. Like Knocked. I mean Knocked's like whatever. Like all the way from Knocked to like Origins. You like Moon. The Moon remake, which I liked. Probably the worst map out of the like Zombies Chronicles remakes was Shino Numa. Honestly, would play the World at War version over it. And then obviously you do have custom zombies, but like I mean, yeah, they're very high quality. I'd say they're like on par with Treyarch. So yeah. Oh yeah, finally with the zombies, I mean, Gobblegums are the best microtransaction system. I mean, it's still like pay to win, which I'm not a fan of. I'm going to talk about COD 4 and World at War in the same sort of vein, because these two games are very similar. So I'm going to start off with World at War. Campaign's very good. It's also very gritty and like realistic. The multiplayer, I like the sort of feel of the multiplayer. You have the announcers just like shouting at you. And I feel like a lot of the music sort of added to the atmosphere of this game. He also had a lot of good maps and good guns. Like the MP40. I like the snipers. Like, I'm pretty sure there was the STG in this game. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. And the zombies. I mean, the zombies, it's just classic zombies. But not the best, since it is a few bit buggy and slow due to its age. The only time I would go back to World at War Zombies is for Shino Numa and like maybe Darius. I just personally find the Chronicles versions like not to really like lose anything. It's like I feel like the Chronicles maps are just sort of like better. The only thing I would play for is for like Shino Numa high rounds. But yeah, with World at War, the multiplayer was like pretty broken as well. Yeah, you had it. There was a bit of broken shit in this. So moving on to COD 4. Campaign was good. I've played a bit of it personally. I liked quite a few missions. The one where you like go to infiltrate the TV broadcast and like moving on to multiplayer. It's like it was ahead of its time, but it still sort of holds up. The thing I think about both these games multiplayer, from keeping them out of S, is that they're just a bit too simple. You can't pick your score streaks, and then you have like one attachment per gun. So I mean, yeah, but it's still a lot of fun. You still get some great maps and get the classics like the M16, MP5. Yeah, overall, got some good games here. These next one, I am gonna have them in order. Number 3. Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 I sort of see as like a better COD 4. He had a really good campaign, which I did play, and I can vouch that it is very good. The multiplayer, it is broken with like one-man army and like one-man army new tubes. There was like other broken shit. Like super iconic. You had great maps, great weapons like ACR, the fucking intervention, Barrett 50 cal, yeah, MP5K, and it's very like, yeah. I feel like without this game, you wouldn't be getting any other game on this list. This was the one like really took things to the next level. And with Spec Ops, I feel like this is probably the weakest aspect of MW2. I mean, it is fun. It's very fun. My favorite Spec Ops mission is probably the one where like at the sub base, and you had like the Predator missile and the Barrett 50 cal. And it's like there was like 3 waves. Yeah, that was. I really like that. Next, Black Ops 1. Yeah. So with the campaign, honestly, one of the best like campaigns in gaming. You had the who were the 3 guys? Dragovich, Krivchenko, Stater. Do you remember the numbers, Mason? Yeah, it was just a very well done campaign. I just like love the story, beginning to end. It was just like very high. There was a lot of action. Yeah, I felt like it was very, very good. The main weak point is the multiplayer. You had a very good guns. It didn't like the Galil, the Org. This game also introduced all of my fan favorite maps, like Firing Range is the one I point out. But I don't know, just something about this game felt a bit weird to me. It may have been the COD points. Oh yeah, and obviously it introduced like fucking Nuketown. How could I forget that? But I mean, just going back to the point earlier, just something about this game felt kind of weird to me. I don't know. I think it was at like the crossroad of like COD games going like more modern, you know, like how the guns sort of like look and act. I don't feel like it kind of, you know, I don't think it looked quite there yet. I feel like the game acted more advanced than it looked, if you get what I mean. So yeah, and the zombies, I feel like this is just like the most consistent zombies mode. Like ask a Truck Zombies fan, and all the Black Ops 1 maps will probably be like in the top half of their list, I would say. So this game had Kino, Ascension, 5, Shangri-La, Moon, which is the main 5, and then it had the World at War remakes, which I wasn't really a fan of, but I mean, you know, they're whatever. I would play the World at War ones over them. But I mean, yeah, just like overall very consistent, very, very fun zombies mode. Yeah, they're very good overall. But number 1, Black Ops 2. Ready? Do I even really need to say why this shit number 1? The campaign is really good with like the multiple endings. You get to like do things throughout the campaign to get certain endings. The multiplayer is like, you had like pick 10, you had a lot of very good guns. This is like the second birth of sniping. It really popped off in this game with like the Ballista. It's like the XR50, I think it's called. Or the XP50. Pick 10's probably my favorite creator class iteration. It felt very, it like played very well. I say it had like good guns, like you had the MP7, MSMC, the M8, the Scar. It's also introduced, it's had a lot of fan favorite maps like Raid, Hijack, Nuketown, the Nuketown remake. It was just like Death's Kiss. Now with the zombies, like honestly, probably one of the multiplayer really what makes this put this over Black Ops. But I mean, the zombies, besides from the first 2 maps, I feel like it was very, very good. I really don't like Transit High Rise. I feel like Buried, Mob of the Dead, Origin are all very good. Origins like stands like head above shoulders above the rest, but they're all very good. Or Origins like 4 staffs. All that. Buried it was more of it was a pretty fun map. Yeah, the Paralyzer, which is cool. Then, you know, Mob, I did like it. And just to sort of conclude off, I did feel like this had the best mechanics for a zombies mode, like without microtransactions. I feel like if Black Ops 1 had the same like engine, I think that's what you refer to it. I think that's how you would call it. Had the same feel as Black Ops 2, it probably would be number one. But just like it had a really good multiplayer, really good zombies, and yeah. Alright. Let me see the Warzone real quick. Warzone 2.0 is C, 3.0 is B. Warzone 1 is A. Swap these around. Alright, start off with, I'm gonna see these kind of quick. I feel like Warzone 2, the best part was like Vondel. I liked how you could like buy individual guns from the buy station. But Al-Mazrah was like a good, like, I feel like it was a pretty good like big map. And yeah, it was just like okay in my opinion. And yeah, like so the movement issues from MW2 did come over. Now 3.0, over just mainly the better movement did push us up. And I reckon it could be A once Rebirth gets added, but this does have Fortune's Keep, Ashika, Urzikstan, and Vondel. Yeah. I think Al-Mazrah may outdo Urzikstan just a bit, but I don't mind Urzikstan. I feel like Warzone 1.0 is probably the best iteration we're probably going to get. Like, you had a lot of good guns. There was quite a lot broken metas and cheaters, which sort of kept this down. A bit, but you know, it's got Rebirth, you know. Just sort of a classic Warzone. I feel like this is how Warzone should be. Alright, I've been recording for way too long. Let me know what you think about the tier list in the comments. Let me know where you would put certain games. Let me know where you would put these 3 games, if I should check them out. And yeah, see ya.